The Thunder's Apprentice, copyright 2024, Asa Milila, all rights reserved. In the land of Asgard, home to the mighty Norse gods, a young boy named Leif lived a humble life in the shadow of Valhalla. Orphaned at a young age, Leif was taken in by a kindly blacksmith named Arvid, who taught him the art of forging weapons and tools. Though Leif was grateful for his new life, he often gazed up at the towering halls of the gods, dreaming of adventure and glory. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled across the sky and lightning lit up the heavens, Leif felt a strange pull. Drawn to the forest outside his village, he followed the sound of distant hammering that seemed to echo through the trees. There, in a clearing, he stumbled upon a massive figure wielding a giant hammer that crackled with lightning. It was none other than Thor, the god of thunder. "Who goes there?" Thor's booming voice demanded as he turned to face the boy. Leif, awestruck and trembling, managed to stammer, "I am Leif, son of no one, apprentice to a blacksmith." Thor studied the boy for a moment, then smiled. "You have the heart of a warrior, young Leif. Tell me, do you seek adventure and the chance to prove your worth?" Leif nodded eagerly, his eyes shining with determination. "More than anything, my lord." Thor's smile widened. "Very well. From this night forth, you shall be my apprentice. Together, we will forge your destiny." Thus began Leif's journey as the Thunder's apprentice. Under Thor's tutelage, he learned the ways of the gods and the secrets of the ancient runes. Thor taught him to harness the power of the storms, to call lightning with a flick of his wrist, and to wield a hammer with the strength of a god. Leif's training was rigorous and demanding, but he was determined to prove himself worthy. Thor introduced him to the other gods of Asgard, each of whom imparted their own wisdom and skills. From Odin, Leif learned the importance of knowledge and foresight. From Freya, he learned the ways of magic and healing. From Tyr, the god of war, he learned the art of combat and strategy. One day, as Leif was practicing his swordplay with Tyr, a messenger arrived from Midgard, bearing dire news. A fearsome creature, known as the Jormungandr Serpent, had arisen from the depths of the ocean and was wreaking havoc upon the coastal villages. The gods were summoned to aid the mortals, and Thor decided it was time for Leif to face his first real challenge. "Leif, you have trained well," Thor said, his voice filled with pride. "Now it is time for you to prove your mettle. You will accompany us to Midgard and help us defeat this monstrous serpent." Leif's heart pounded with excitement and fear, but he nodded resolutely. "I am ready, my lord." Together with Thor and the other gods, Leif traveled to Midgard, the realm of mortals. They arrived to find the villages in ruins, the people terrified and desperate. The Jormungandr Serpent, a colossal beast with scales as hard as iron and venomous breath, had left a path of destruction in its wake. As the gods prepared for battle, Leif felt a surge of determination. He knew that this was his chance to prove himself worthy of being the Thunder's apprentice. Armed with a hammer forged by Thor himself and the knowledge imparted by the gods, he stood alongside his mentors, ready to face the serpent. The battle was fierce and chaotic, with the gods unleashing their powers against the monstrous beast. Thor's hammer Mjolnir crackled with lightning as he struck blow after blow, while Odin's spear Gungnir soared through the air with deadly precision. Freya's magic ensnared the serpent, weakening it, while Tyr fought valiantly with his sword. Leif, though inexperienced, fought with all his might. He summoned the power of the storms, calling down lightning to strike the serpent and protect his comrades. The Jormungandr Serpent was a formidable foe, its scales nearly impenetrable and its venomous breath a constant threat. At a critical moment in the battle, the serpent lunged at Thor, its massive jaws wide open. Seeing his mentor in danger, Leif acted on instinct. He hurled his hammer with all his strength, aiming for the beast's vulnerable eye. The hammer struck true, blinding the serpent and causing it to rear back in pain. Taking advantage of the opening, Thor delivered a crushing blow with Mjolnir, shattering the serpent's skull and sending it crashing to the ground. The gods erupted in cheers, their victory secured. As the dust settled, Thor approached Leif, his eyes filled with pride. "You have proven yourself today, Leif. You are truly worthy of being the Thunder's apprentice." The villagers of Midgard celebrated their saviors, and Leif felt a sense of accomplishment he had never known. He had faced his fears, fought alongside the gods, and emerged victorious. But Leif's journey was far from over. He knew that there were many more challenges and adventures awaiting him. With Thor and the other gods by his side, he was ready to face whatever the fates had in store. With the victory over the Jormungandr Serpent, Leif had proven himself as the Thunder's apprentice, but his journey was far from over. The gods of Asgard saw great potential in him and knew that more challenges lay ahead. They decided to prepare Leif for these trials by teaching him the ways of the gods and the creatures of the realms. One crisp morning, Thor called Leif to the training grounds. "Today, you will learn the art of summoning lightning," Thor said, his eyes filled with intensity. "It is a power that requires focus and control. You must learn to harness it without letting it consume you." Leif nodded, eager to begin. Thor handed him a smaller version of Mjolnir, crafted specifically for Leif. "This will help you channel the power of the storms," Thor explained. "Now, focus on the sky and feel the energy within you." Leif raised the hammer and closed his eyes, feeling the crackling energy coursing through his veins. He concentrated on the storm clouds above, willing the lightning to come to him. With a shout, he swung the hammer down, and a bolt of lightning struck the ground before him. "Excellent, Leif!" Thor exclaimed. "You are a natural, but remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use it wisely." Days turned into weeks, and Leif's training continued. He learned the art of rune magic from Freya, who showed him how to inscribe powerful symbols that could protect, heal, or enhance his abilities. He trained with Tyr in the art of combat, mastering various weapons and strategies. One evening, Odin summoned Leif to his hall. "Leif, there is much you have learned, but there is still more to discover," Odin said, his voice filled with wisdom. "You must seek out the wisdom of the world tree, Yggdrasil. It holds the secrets of the cosmos and will guide you on your path." Odin handed Leif a vial filled with water from the well of Erd. "Pour this at the base of Yggdrasil, and it will reveal its secrets to you," Odin instructed. Leif set out on his journey to Yggdrasil, accompanied by a few trusted companions, including a Valkyrie named Brynhild and a dwarf named Brock, who was renowned for his craftsmanship. As they traveled through the realms, they encountered various creatures and challenges, from cunning trolls to ferocious wolves. At one point, they came across a village being terrorized by a fire-breathing dragon. The villagers pleaded for their help, and Leif knew he couldn't turn away. Drawing upon his training, he led his companions in a daring battle against the dragon. With Brynhild's swift attacks and Brock's clever traps, they managed to weaken the beast. Leif delivered the final blow with a bolt of lightning, sending the dragon crashing to the ground. The villagers cheered, and Leif felt a deep sense of accomplishment. "Thank you, Leif," one of the villagers said. "You have saved us from certain destruction." Continuing their journey, Leif and his companions finally reached Yggdrasil, the world tree. Its massive branches stretched into the heavens, and its roots delved deep into the earth. Leif approached the base of the tree and poured the water from the well of Erd onto its roots. A voice, ancient and powerful, resonated through the air. "Leif, son of no one, apprentice to the thunder, you seek the wisdom of the cosmos. Answer this riddle, and the knowledge you seek shall be yours. What is it that binds the realms together, yet remains unseen?" Leif pondered the riddle, thinking of the connections between the realms and the forces that held them together. Suddenly, the answer came to him. "It is love," he said, "the love of the gods for the mortals, the love of family and friends. It is the unseen force that binds us all." The world tree trembled, and a beam of light enveloped Leif. "You have answered correctly, Leif," the voice said. "The wisdom of the cosmos is now yours. Use it wisely, and you will achieve greatness." As the light faded, Leif felt a surge of knowledge and understanding flow through him. He thanked the world tree and rejoined his companions, who looked at him with awe and respect. With their newfound knowledge, Leif and his companions returned to Asgard, where the gods awaited them. Thor greeted Leif with a proud smile. "You have done well, my apprentice, but there is one final trial you must face, a challenge that will test everything you have learned." The gods led Leif to the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge that connected Asgard to the other realms. "Beyond this bridge lies Jotunheim, the land of the giants," Odin explained. "A great evil has arisen there, threatening the balance of the realms. You must journey to Jotunheim and confront this threat. Leif nodded, ready to face his final challenge. He knew that the journey to Jotunheim would be perilous, but he also knew that he had the strength, wisdom, and courage to succeed. With his companions by his side and the blessings of the gods, Leif stepped onto the Bifrost, ready to face whatever awaited him in the land of the giants. Leif, the Thunder's apprentice, stood on the shimmering Bifrost, gazing into the distant realm of Jotunheim. The land of the giants was a place of ice and shadow, a domain where few dared to tread. But Leif's heart was filled with determination. With his companions Brynhild and Brock by his side, and the blessings of the gods behind him, he was ready to face the ultimate challenge. As they crossed the Bifrost and set foot in Jotunheim, the air grew cold and the sky darkened. The towering peaks of the icy mountains loomed above them, casting long shadows on the frozen landscape. They made their way through the treacherous terrain, battling fierce winds and biting cold. Their journey led them to the heart of Jotunheim, where the great fortress of Utgard stood. It was said that the giant king, Utgard Loki, ruled from within its walls, his dark magic spreading fear and chaos across the realms. Leif knew that they had to confront Utgard Loki and put an end to his reign of terror. As they approached the fortress, they were met by a group of fearsome frost giants, their eyes gleaming with malice. Leif, Brynhild, and Brock fought valiantly, their weapons clashing against the giants' icy armor. Leif called upon the power of the storms, summoning lightning to strike down their foes. "Forward, my friends," Leif shouted, his voice carrying through the howling winds. "We must reach the fortress and confront Utgard Loki." With each step, they drew closer to their goal. The gates of Utgard loomed before them, guarded by towering statues of ancient giants. Brynhild's swift strikes and Brock's cunning traps helped them overcome the final obstacles, and they entered the fortress. Inside, the air was thick with dark magic. Shadows danced along the walls, and eerie whispers echoed through the halls. Leif led his companions deeper into the fortress, following the trail of magic to its source. In the grand hall of Utgard, they found Utgard Loki seated on a throne of ice, his eyes filled with malice and cunning. He rose to his full height, towering over them like a mountain. "So the Thunder's apprentice has come to challenge me," Utgard Loki sneered. "You are brave, but foolish. You cannot hope to defeat me." Leif stood tall, his grip tightening on his hammer. "We will see about that, Utgard Loki. Your reign of terror ends today." The battle that ensued was fierce and chaotic. Utgard Loki wielded powerful dark magic, conjuring icy storms and monstrous creatures to fight by his side. Leif, Brynhild, and Brock fought with all their might, their hearts burning with determination. Leif called upon the power of the World Tree, channeling the wisdom and strength he had gained from his journey. He summoned a storm within the hall, lightning crackling around him as he struck blow after blow against the giant king. Despite Utgard Loki's formidable power, the unity and bravery of Leif and his companions began to turn the tide. Brynhild's sword cut through the shadows, and Brock's traps ensnared the monstrous creatures. Leif's hammer glowed with the energy of the storms as he faced Utgard Loki in a final, climactic duel. With a mighty swing of his hammer, Leif shattered Utgard Loki's staff, the source of his dark magic. The giant king let out a roar of agony as his power crumbled, and he fell to the ground, defeated. The fortress of Utgard began to tremble, the dark magic dissipating into the air. The ice melted away, and the shadows retreated. Leif, Brynhild, and Brock emerged from the fortress victorious, their hearts filled with triumph. As they made their way back to the Bifrost, the skies above Jotunheim cleared, and the sun shone brightly on the land. The balance of the realms had been restored, and peace had returned to Midgard and Asgard. Upon their return to Asgard, the gods welcomed them with open arms. Thor embraced Leif, his eyes filled with pride. "You have done it, Leif. You have proven yourself as the Thunder's apprentice and a true hero of Asgard." Odin, Freya, and Tyr also praised Leif for his bravery and determination. "You have brought honor to us all," Odin said, placing a hand on Leif's shoulder. "The realms are safer because of you." A grand feast was held in Valhalla to celebrate their victory. The hall was filled with laughter, music, and the clinking of goblets. Leif sat among the gods, feeling a sense of belonging and fulfillment. As the night drew on, Thor stood and raised his goblet. To Leif, the Thunder's apprentice, may his courage and wisdom continue to inspire us all. The hall erupted in cheers, and Leif's heart swelled with pride. He had faced his fears, conquered great challenges, and proven himself worthy of being the Thunder's apprentice. But Leif knew that his journey was far from over. There were still many adventures to be had and many battles to be fought. With the support of the gods and the strength he had gained, he was ready to face whatever the future held. And so, Leif's story became legend, a tale of bravery, wisdom, and the enduring spirit of a young boy who rose to greatness. The Thunder's apprentice had become a hero, and his name would be remembered for generations to come.